Hello and welcome back to Here We Tow. Today I'm at the Motorhome and Caravan show and I am on the Malibu stand. Now I've done a lot of reviews around Malibu. They are a German manufacturer and you probably know that I am really interested in them and I'm interested to tell you a bit more about them too. So in this video what we're going to do is wander around the stand and take a look at some of the different models. Then we're going to jump on a plane, you and me, and we're off to the factory. We're going to see how they're actually built. Because it's all right when we see them here at the show all shiny, but what actually goes on behind the scenes? How are these motorhomes and campervans actually made? What I'm also going to do is put a link in the description, so if you want to keep up to date with all the new models that are coming to the UK, you can do that by clicking on there and signing up for information, because it's always nice to know what is coming before you make a commitment to buy. Now, in terms of the Malibu range, we're going to start with motorhomes and then dive down to the campervans. This is just a quick overview before we go and see construction. You'll see here, this is what's known as an integrated or A-class motorhome. Now, the Malibu range is available on both Fiat and Mercedes. And the great thing is that most of these models are available on either a 3.5 ton lightweight chassis, so you don't need your C1 to drive this, or available on a 4.2 heavier weight chassis called Comfort. So if you've got your C1, that's where you need to be. So this is an integrated or A-class. This one here is based on the Fiat. And what I'll do is I'll let Jules just take you inside and have a look at the finishings, because this is why I do like Malibu. They always have a beautiful light coloured finish, a choice of fabrics as well in leather and fabric, loads of good storage options and plenty of layouts. There are single beds and island beds. There's always a good amount of storage underneath them. They come with Truma air-blown heating, but you have options available and the huge garage space. So this is ideal if you take bikes with you or equipment, whatever it might be. For 2026, they've launched the new dynamic rear design end. So this is the dynamic design rear. So it gives you an idea of how Malibu look. These are premium motorhomes and they do look it. This one here is actually a Mercedes-based model. Again, we're still on the integrated, we'll see semi in a minute, but this is the Comfort chassis, 4.2 tons. And this just gives you another idea of how these motorhomes are going to look. The great thing is as well, size-wise, they're starting at just over 6 metres and go up to around 7.5 metres in length. For 2026, they have the new 470 and 480 and a special edition island bed 490 as well. Let's have a look at a semi-integrated. Now, this one is based on Fiat, and again, you can have the lightweight or Comfort chassis, and it's also available on Mercedes. You'll see the black cab. On the semi-integrated, you can either have a white cab or pay a little bit more to have this black cab. Again, choices available. We'll just come down, but again, this is here with one of the cream leather finishes. So you've got a mix here. It used to be called macchiato, but whether it's still got that name, I don't know. But this was a macchiato colour. But in there, you'll see the leather upholstery finish. And on this layout, this has got an island bed. So this is what I mean about choices in the beds as well. Some of them have all-in-one washrooms. Some of them have the separate shower and washroom depending on size, and that beautiful light colour wood. Again, on the Malibu, look at the garage, semi-integrated. It's the same, big garage, and this has got a bike system fitted. It's nice to be able to see how these work. This has actually got the open floor system, so you can lift the panel out and you don't have to take the front wheel off your bike because the handlebars aren't touching there. So there we go. Then we move on to campervans. Malibu have got a good range of campervans. I've done lots of reviews. Their cheapest one's the Relax, and that actually starts at just over £52,000, and then they go up. They're all based on Fiat, apart from Genius, which is on Mercedes. That's one of my favourites. This one here, just give you an example. Choices of colours again on the Malibu campers. You also have optional pop tops, so totally up to you what you want to add. I do like the dark tinted windows on the Malibu campers. You can put so much equipment on these as well. That is the benefit of them. Some of them have a transverse bed depending on the length, and some of them have the longitudinal or single beds. And again, the finish in there, we can see that light colour scheme. there's gloss, there's cream, there's wood, lots of equipment, lots of storage. So that's one of the campers. If we just come down here, we'll take a look at another one. So this is charming. So different specifications, and we can see the different colour schemes. So this one has the darker wood scheme, and this is always a talking point, the windows, the porthole windows. So this is an option as well that you can have. So it just gives you an idea. And then just poking our heads in, the finish on this with the lighter wood and the grey. So we've had a wander round and we've seen what we have on offer from Malibu in terms of their motorhomes and their campervans. This video isn't a detailed review of those. I have got that, and I'll put a link to that in the description, and you can see the full Malibu range for 2026 that I filmed in August. So go into the description to see that. Right, what Jules and I are going to do now is we're going to leave the show, head to the airport, jump on a plane, and we will next see you at the Malibu factory, where we're going to see motorhomes and campervans being manufactured. We've landed in Slovenia and we're here at the Malibu Motorhome factory. We're going to do the motorhome factory and then go to the campervan factory. Now, some of you may think, have I landed in the right country? I've said I'm in Slovenia. Yes, that is right, because although Malibu is a German brand, it is actually manufactured here in Slovenia at 2 state-of-the-art plants. And as I say, we're here at the Malibu Motorhome factory. So what we're going to do is hit the production line and see how these motorhomes are manufactured from start to finish. So this is where the motorhome starts its life. The chassis itself, whether it be Fiat or Mercedes, has come through this door and it's now here. Now, Malibu are available in integrated and semi-integrated, as you may well know. This is how an integrated motorhome begins its life on the production line. There's no cab to it. A front mask is actually going to be fitted later, and we'll see that as we go along. But this at the moment is how a Mercedes integrated Malibu starts its life. There is also on the production line in front of us a semi-integrated, and on semi-integrated the cab is there in situ, so the Mercedes cab has remained in place, and then the cab front, the overhead part, will be fitted later in the process. At this point we have got our onboard fresh water tank fitted and a few other bits. Right, so there we've seen the bare basics. Let's make our way down zone 1 and see the further production process. The Malibu motorhomes have made the way down the production line, and different parts of the motorhome have been added here to the chassis. By the time we get here, we now have the gas locker fitted, as we can see. This one actually has a double floor, and we can see that the access hatches into the double floor are being put in place. And we also here have Alder heating and air blown heating, so that's going to start to go into place here. So we can see what we might recognise a little bit more being added here. Once we finish there, it's on to the next area, and that's where we're going to go next. So the work in zone 1 is complete, and we're now in zone 2. This one here is a Malibu based on Fiat. I can tell that due to the alloy wheels. And this one is going to be an integrated motorhome. We can see because it hasn't got the front mask on. At this stage, as you can see here, there are some electrical looms that have been fitted. We have the ducts here for the air-blown heating. This one is left-hand drive. It's obviously for the European market. In the UK, ours are right-hand. The flooring has also been fitted in zone 1, so it's come here. You can see the insulation in the flooring, and obviously with the double floor, we can just see as well under there too. The electric steps already fitted, and you can see on there different storage locker parts that are here. What is going to happen from this part, the very start of zone 2, You're going to move along the conveyor belt. Now this does actually move slowly along as they're doing their work. We then get to the second part. Now this next motorhome is again a Fiat-based motorhome. That's not Malibu, that's actually a Cartago model. But on here we can now see the furniture that's been fitted. So the furniture begins to be fitted in here. These modular furniture parts for kitchen and bathroom are manufactured here at the Malibu factory. It starts with sheet wood. They have new, very innovative machines that cut all the wood, the pieces and the cutouts, and then they filter through to the other parts of the manufacturing process here at the Malibu factory. On those stations, they will produce the bathroom units and the kitchen units, along with cupboards as well. So it's all manufactured in-house. Those units are fully assembled and then fitted, as we can see here. So you've got all that unit, including as well the fridge freezers and ovens if they've been specified. Zone 2 continues down. I'll just step back a little bit so you can see all the motorhomes in this row. We do have a semi-integrated Mercedes down there that we can see. By the end of the line, we should have most of our interior equipment fitted. At this point, by the end of there, quality control are going to step in and do their checks at this point, and then we need to think about some sidewalls. Let's head on to that zone next. A little bit further down zone 2, and here we are. This is looking more like the motorhome now. We can see the bed area is in place. We can see the cupboards running around the top. The gas is being tested at this point. You can see a gas bottle, so they're checking that there's no gas leaks on this vehicle. So we've got a lot more here of what we would recognise as the motorhome. And then we are continuing down to that sidewall section. At the end of the zone, we find a Malibu integrated motorhome. We can see here the sides are now bonded on the side here. They are produced here. The graphics are put on in the line, the production line. They're fed down and then they're fitted to each side. We can see that the garage doors are here now on, the locker doors as well. And we can see the curvature of the side, the Malibu graphics. What is going to happen next as we move along, we have another Malibu that we can see here, and then the rear panel. So the rear panel, again, manufactured here in the factory. This has the new dynamic design rear end. We can just see that turning round towards us. This Malibu is going to be a Mercedes. You can see the Mercedes badge, the rear view cameras up there, and so you can see that back end. What is going to happen as the motorhome moves along, that is going to be affixed onto the rear next. These are glued and screwed into position, and then the glue has to have time to dry, and that is what is going to happen. At this point, once the sides and the rear end are on, unfortunately, it's very difficult to get any more big furniture in, so hopefully it's all in place, and so it should be. We also have further quality control down here. The next thing, once you've got on the sides and the rear end, you need a roof. So what we're going to do is we're going to carry on down the line. We'll be having the roof put on, and we'll also be having the front mask of the integrated motorhomes as well. So we'll venture on to that next stage. So then we move on to the roof and the mask zone. So what we're going to be doing here is fitting the roof to the Malibus. The roofs are pre-made here, so they already have the skylights in and other parts that may be going onto that roof, such as the electrical wiring as well for lighting. So once that roof goes on top, they then fit onto the integrated motorhomes, the mask. And here they have the mask that's already been made here. So this will be fitted onto the front of the integrated. The semi-integrated obviously has the cab, but they do have an overhead section. And again, that is manufactured from fiberglass. So here we see things coming together a little bit further. Right, let's venture on and see some more of the process. So that is how the Malibu Motorhome starts and finishes here on the production line. We've checked out the motorhomes. I think what we need to do now is head to the campervan factory. So come on, let's make our way there. So here we are at the Malibu campervan factory. Now what we're going to do in this video is show the full manufacturing process of the Malibu campers. We're going to venture down to the Malibu supermarket where all the parts are, find out about those. Then we're going to start at the top of the conveyor belt, work our way around and then see the finished product as we can see here. All complete, it's been through quality control. Here at the factory they produce all the campervans such as the new Relax, Charming, First Class and obviously the Malibu Genius. So these are Fiat and Mercedes based campers. Right, let's dive off down to the parts department. As you'd expect, the parts department here at Malibu is huge. This is where they're going to store all the components before they're fitted to campervans. Members of the team select the parts, place them in trolleys, and then the trolleys are taken around the factory on these small machines and trains. As well as storing parts, they also manufacture all the wood components here and build the cabinets by hand at the factory. Let's head to the wood department. So the campers are brought in here at the start of the production line. We've actually got a Malibu Genius here waiting for the start of its journey. Once on the conveyor belt, it is going to receive the cutouts for the windows, the pop-top roof if the camper has that, and various other bits and pieces there. So that is going to venture off down there. Once those cutouts are made, the campervans are going to make their way onto the second part. So what we'll do is we'll venture down there and see some bits and pieces being installed in the Malibu campers. Come on. So now we've come further down the production line and we can see the conveyor belt of campervans. So what Malibu do here is they start at the bottom end where we were. They're going to put the flooring in there and then as the campers come down, different members of the team are going to put in the insulation, the electrical, and then as it makes their way down, the water tanks, the heating, and then some furniture. It's all going on. What's interesting is the conveyor belt actually moves at a very, very, very slow pace. You have to really watch to see that. And that's how these campers all move down. So people are timed to get in there, do their work, then move along with the camper, get out and continue on. They can have up to 3 people working inside a camper and 3 people outside. And this is where the graphics are also going to be applied as it moves down here in the conveyor. If you've opted to have a pop top on your Malibu, that comes later in the process and I'll show you that as we move along. Right, let's move down the production line and see those other bits of furniture being added. Next we're on to the roof section. The campervan roof has already had the insulation fitted while on the production line, and at this point we're going to be fitting heckies and any other parts you may well have ordered for your campervan, such as solar panels and also the pop top. Now the pop tops are actually manufactured here at the Malibu factory. They are then fitted here. Also at this point the Malibu Genius will also have its fiberglass rear extension part fitted too. So all the roof section should be completed here in this zone of the production line. And now we're on what is the final process on the Malibu production line. Here the assembly workers are completing work on the underside of the campervans. They're also going to then feed through to the quality control area. So further down this line, they're going to be inspecting all the Malibus for anything that is not completely right and that they identify. They'll put a small sticker on there and those bits will be corrected. We'll see that a bit further on the line as we make our way down. At this point, the Malibu Genius is missing its full rear end. That's going to be completed here as well, and that will then make its way down the line too. So what we'll do is we'll venture further on and see the finish of this process. The last part of the process is quality control. Here, an operative will fully check over the exterior and interior of the Malibu campervan. You can see here an LED light being used to check for any imperfections or defects. If anything is found, then a sticker is placed on it. The vehicle at this point is also weighed and the headlights are calibrated as well. We're just going to see that on finding a defect, a sticker will be applied to identify it. There's a choice of yellow or red stickers. In this case, a red sticker, and that will have to be rectified before the campervan can be dispatched. One thing we all want to know is our camper waterproof? Well, here at the Malibu factory, we're going to find out, because Jules and I are venturing into the chamber to dive into a Genius and see if we get soaking wet through in the chamber. So let's just wander in first of all. So coming in, this is the chamber here at the factory. Now there's a number of water jets all the way around. They can literally blast us with water in all directions, and I'm told that's what they're going to do. Hopefully not before we've got inside. We're going to be going inside this Genius, so let's venture in and test out the water chamber. So in we go. Right, I'm inside. Jules is going to join me. We're going to sit up here and we're going to close the door, and then the team are going to turn on the water jets and we're going to just see what happens and the process involved in this water chamber. This is the exciting bit. Right, close the door, Jules. We're going to get wet. Right, so we've got some jets coming on here. We can see them coming sideways. I think they're going to totally blast us just for a laugh. Now the water, it is not tap water, it's tested with natural water. I'll just turn the wipers on. So it gives us an idea of the flow of water as well. So you can see from how intermittent my wipers are. So it's coming down fairly heavily. We've got some proper Yorkshire weather here in this factory. So you'll also find, if I just stand up, you can see here as well on the roof. And then the water is also coming down the sides as well of the campervan. So we can see, you'll see that shortly once they change the jets on us. There we go. So we've got a good test. It's absolutely pouring down the back as well. So that's coming down the back windows. And on that back off side, this is good fun. And then Jules will show you just up there on the roof again. And then it's been sprayed down the side. So the point, as much as it is fun, the point is to test that the Malibu campers are waterproof, that water isn't coming through the roof or the side windows, and that's the whole purpose of it. So there we go. It's just like a lovely day in Yorkshire out in your campervan. So we've seen the manufacturing of motorhomes and campervans. Let's head back to the NEC. And there we go, that is how the Malibu campervan and motorhome are constructed at the factory. Hopefully you've enjoyed having a look and finding out a bit more, certainly about the Malibu Genius, I've got plenty of videos on that one, and the Fiat-based campervans. And don't forget, the benefit of the integrated and semi-integrated is you've got a choice of Mercedes or Fiat, and those two chassis, lightweight and comfort. Don't forget, there is a link down there so you can sign up to find all of the new product that is coming to the UK from Malibu. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.